Good morning children, Sai Ram. Today we will have the last session of revision. And today I am going to discuss the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear and Formal and Informal Letter. Children, this poem was taught in detail in the old videos. Please refer to it for detailed explanation. Today I'll just have the revision. Okay, so we'll have the value points and some questions. Same way, formal and informal letter is also discussed in detail. Please refer to those videos. Let's start with the revision of the poem number 7, Where the Mind is Without Fear. It's by Rabindranath Tagore. In detail I have taught in the old videos. Please refer to those videos. Today we'll have the value points and some questions. Let's start. Let's have the summary or the gist of the poem. This poem is a prayer to God. The poet prays to God that his countrymen should be free from any fear of oppression or forced compulsion. He wishes that everyone in his country has his head held high in dignity. He wishes that people should be united. They should be truthful and wise. The poet emphasizes the unity of not only of his countrymen but also of the entire world. In such a world, knowledge will be free. It will not be broken by narrow-mindedness. He is actually praying that God awakens his countrymen so that they come out from the darkness of ignorance, prejudices, disunity, and all other evils. Now let's have the RTC questions. One line is taken from the poem. Where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. Why has the word clear been used to describe the stream of reason? The word clear suggests freshness and purity. When reason is not tainted by hatred and habitual thinking, it remains clear. What causes reason to lose its way? Habitual thought and behavior causes reason to lose its way. Why have habits been described as dead? They are described as dead because they do not allow a person to grow. All explanation is given in the videos. Please refer to it. Now, let us see the questions. How would the poet like his countrymen to gain perfection? He would like his people to strive tirelessly for perfection. What kinds of freedom does the poet mention in the poem? He speaks about the freedom of thought and action. Now let's revise the literary devices which I have already discussed earlier. Where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. This is personification. The idea of striving has been given the shape of a human being whose arms are stretching and trying very hard to reach perfection. Dreary desert sand of dead habit. Here it is alliteration. Repetition of the sound D. The head is held high. Alliteration. Repetition of the H sound. Head, high. It is also metaphor. Assuming proud posture is indirectly compared to that of independent India. The clear stream of reason. This metaphor. The poet indirectly compares a logical mind to a clear stream. Let my country awake. Its personification. A country is not a living being. Yet, the poet talks about the nation waking up just like a human wakes up from sleep. The poem is full of irony. For instance, when Tagore seeks a nation where the mind is without fear, he very subtly points out that India was not a free nation where Indians could live without fearing the British. Similarly, knowledge is free implies that at that time knowledge was not free. It was not freely available to all. Everyone did not have access to education. Now children, as we have finished with the revision of the poem, let us go to the other two topics, that is formal letter and informal letter. You already know that there are two types of letters, formal and informal. What is a formal letter? We have already discussed. So let us discuss the format and information about these two topics. The formal letter must be written in appropriate format. There is a specific format for it. It should be clear, concise and to the point. Only relevant information should be written. The tone of the formal letter should be courteous, even if it is written for a complaint. Now let's have the format of formal letter. First important one is sender's address. In a formal letter you have two address to be written. First is sender's address. So you are sending the letter, so your address will be first. Since in the exam the name is given and the address is also given, so you have to write that address. Remember, no punctuation. And then you have to leave a line and write the date. And then you have to write the name, that is to the person whom you are writing. So name of the person and designation of addressee to whom you are writing. And then you will write the address of the addressee. So this here comes the second address. And then again leave a line and write the subject. Subject should be in short. Then you have to write salutation. Okay, dear sir, madam. Then you write the body. So in body you have introduction, content and conclusion part. And then is complimentary close, thanking the person. At the end you have sender's name and designation if applicable. So in the letter itself they will give you the name. So whatever name they give you, you have to write. Okay, so nowhere you will write your name, children. So in short, what we come to the conclusion? First one is sender's address, then date, receiver's address, the person who is receiving this letter. Okay, then subject, salutation, body and subscription. So please note, do not write your name in the sender's address. Generally name is given in the question itself or write XYZ. So I have a sample for you. This was already taken in the previous video. So the same format is given now. 703 Sarang Towers, Andheri, Mumbai 64. No punctuation should be written. Then leave a line. September, see the date how it is written, 17 September 2020. Now here 17 no th, right, and no comma, no full stop, so no punctuation is written. And then again you leave a line and write the store manager, Messrs. Arihant Private Limited, Daryaganj, New Delhi. Then you have to write the subject in short, placing order for books. Example is given here. After that you write salutation, sir or madam, and then leave a line after each step. So body of the letter, in that you write introduction, for what you are writing the letter, main content and conclusion. So complimentary close, thanking the person. So thanking you, yours sincerely or truly. And then whatever sender's name is given in the question, you have to write. Or if not there, then you have to write XYZ. And if designation is given of the sender's name, you have to write that. Okay. So here we come to know about the format. Remember the format, children. Which step should be first? What will come at the end? Everything you have to remember. Now let's see the format of an informal letter. Here first, one address you have to write. That is, you are writing the letter, so your address. Okay. So sender's address only will be there. So after that you write the date as it is given in formal letter, same way, and then greeting or salutation. So you're writing to your friends, relatives or parents, so you can write dear. Okay, dear, you can write your friend name or your parents and mom, dad. Okay, then after that you leave a line and then you write body of the letter, introductory paragraph, main body, and then conclusion. After that subscription and then signature. Okay, the name will be given in the question. So everywhere, in the informal letter as well as formal letter, everything you will start from the left hand side, close to the margin. Now let's see the basis for comparison. This I have explained in detail in the video of informal letter. Okay, so let us go through the differences between formal letter and informal letter. So first point is meaning. So what is the difference between formal letter and informal letter? So formal letter is written in a formal language in the stipulated format. That means a specific format for official purpose, right? An informal letter is written in a friendly manner to someone you are familiar with. Now what is the objective of formal letter? Objective is professional communication. Okay. Now what is professional communication? It is strictly written for the particular issue, right? Now any type of business letter, that is letter of inquiry or written to authority, falls under this category. A complaint letter, okay, or a letter to order for books or a formal invitation, all this comes under this formal letter. And informal letter, you know, it is personal communication. Then address difference I discussed. You have two addresses here, that is sender's and receiver's address. Whereas in informal letter, you have only sender's address. Now, formal letter, to whom, as I said, it is written to business houses, college or school employer, to anybody, that means to outsiders. When you are writing, it is formal letter. And if you are writing to family and friends, it is informal letter. So what is the voice? Here passive, formal letter, and in the informal it is active. Now how passive? Whenever some issue has to be undertaken, it is written something should be done about it. Whereas in an informal letter, you can write you should do something about it. So directly you can talk. But in formal letter, you have to be you have to write it in a formal language. That is, you have to write with respect. Now, how do you address in a formal letter? That is salutation, dear Mr. or Mrs. so and so. But in informal letter, you can write hello, hi. You are writing to your friends. Okay. Previous contact, that means if you are referring to some letter, how do you start? Thank you for your letter. Okay. Or I apologize for not attending the meeting or whatever. Right. But in informal letter, you can write thanks for your letter, or sorry, I have not replied. Directly you can write. Then reason for writing. Now you have to write the objective, why you are writing, the reason you have to write. I am writing in connection with the letter dated or so and so. Okay, in reply to your letter. But in informal letter, you write directly, here's the information you wanted. Like that you can start. Now, giving information. Suppose in a formal letter, if you are giving information, how do you start? I am delighted to inform you regarding this, or we regret to inform you about this, right? But here in a informal letter, how do you write? Good news, we have been selected, or unfortunately we missed the chance, or whatever it is, right? Then attachments. In a formal letter, how do you say? Please find attached my report or documents such and such. And here I have attached the report, or I have given the information, whatever you write. Then asking for information. Suppose you want to ask, or if you want to inquire about any information, how will you write in a formal letter? I am interested in receiving or getting the information of finding out such and such regarding some topic or anything. But in informal letter, I would like to know, please send me the details directly. Now let's see the topics which you generally get for formal letter. Letter to the editor of a newspaper, complaint letter, complaining to municipality, or any regarding complaint letter, okay, complaining about anything. Then order placing letter, order for books or instruments or shipment or whatever it is. Then inquiry letter, you want to inquire about something. So these are the topics for formal letter. Now let's have the topics for informal letter. Below is a list of a few important topics. Inviting a friend, advising a friend, apologizing to a friend, or thanking a friend for spending holiday together. Then reminding a friend about certain things, congratulating a friend, or requesting for help, admitting a mistake. All these topics you will find in informal letter. With this, I hope you have understood or refreshed or revised the format and the particular information you should know for formal and informal letter, as well as the poem number 7 I have discussed here. I hope you are ready for the exam. Best of luck. Thank you.